Tank, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing tonight?
Oh, I am filled with hope and excited. To be specific, I want the 800 numbers tonight, early morning actually. I want them at 12:35 a.m. to show up on my phone, and I want to make my appointment for 3:33 a.m., and I want to be completed with my exchange by 5:30 in the morning. And I want the best possible rate. To be specific.
Specific. There you go. Act. Be specific. I stand in agreement with you and declare it to be so.
Yes. Oh, I'd also like to be picked up. I'd like to be picked up.
Well, from my information, you will be picked up.
Now, here's my dream. Here's how I see it happening. I want guys to show up in a Humvee. I want them to show up, and I want them to say, "Are you, say my name. Are you Stephen Rao, a.k.a. the Tank?" And I'm just going to say, "No, just Tank." And then they'll know it's me. Hop in that car and roll out.
Well, you definitely will have to show ID.
No problem. No problem.
And then you will be escorted.
Yes, indeed. I'm about it. I like that. So, Doc, and I'll say this. I can't be too specific, just to, this late day, I don't want to be.
For security's sake.
What? I'm sorry?
For security's sake.
Right. We don't want to give away sensitive military positioning or anything. But I did hear there were a certain number of exchange centers that were shut down, or not shut down, but they were debilitated because of the hurricane, Harvey, which I thought was perfect, right? Harvey, the RV. And it appears that they have about, last I checked, about 40% of them back up and running, or around there. So I'm told, So that's good news. I'm also hearing that the actual redemption process is in full effect around the world, and I know that there was hundreds of thousands of them done yesterday, and at the same time they were done in harmony with arrests that were taking place for the nefarious characters who apparently had an agenda that did not align with helping humanity. And I believe that's kind of the method and protocol. So they're allowing redemptions and exchanges to go through, and at the same time they are containing the enemy.
Awesome. I love it.
Which I feel great about that personally. That I'm glad to know that's happening. I'm glad to know that this money will not be falling into the wrong hands of people with ulterior motives, and I think that's very exciting. And we're hearing very positive reports, as we often do, that notifications, what manner they come out in, I really don't know. But that notifications are, something that we'll see here, anytime from in the next 5 hours to the next 40 hours, we'll say. And it looks like all the evidence is supporting that. I just got an article from about General Mattis saying that he's lost faith in the president. I think that's a pretty good indicator of where we could be. Not to call a shot, because obviously the stories that surround Trump are, constantly swirling. So it's hard to say what they're going to bring out and what they're going to do, and how that's going to play out. But as far as I can tell, it looks like it's just amazing. We have all types of positive information coming from the various groups that are receiving notice and getting very hopeful reports of this week. Of course, we've had those for the past several weeks, but it looks like now they're actually happening. We're actually seeing those results, and people are, I think, kind of disappearing from the Dinar world. And I think they have multiple release strategies. I think that is accurate. There's multiple release strategies going on right now. And those multiple release strategies, they make it a little unnerving for us, but I think ultimately that is, for our safety, to keep the enemy off guard. And that's kind of what I got. If people want to know something specific, I'll hang out for a little bit.
Okay. Well, there were several came in the queue. Let's see if they had comments or questions for you. Hold on. Thank you, by the way, for coming in. We appreciate it.
Oh, listen, I'm on call for you. I'll clear my schedule anytime you ask.
I love you, Kate. Thank you.
Likewise.
Okay. 507.
That's great. Thanks for making me smile.
Man, thank you for using that. Go ahead, man. What's up?
Well, that was the main thing I wanted to say is thank you for making me smile, because you just made me laugh, and that was awesome. I like your specifics. Cool. So, I mean,
sorry, yeah.
We're all waiting, and it's just awesome that you keep optimistic, and it's fantastic. So
they can't beat us, man. They can't beat us. I'm telling you right now. I am very much on the edge of my seat. Fisher had said that a few days ago, right?
Yeah.
Last Wednesday. About being on the edge of your seat. And I'll tell you, I have a lot of respect and appreciation for Fisher. And I feel like he's a man of business, He's got a very, as a matter of fact, kind of demeanor, right? And if Fisher tells you to be on the edge of your seat, I think there's a reason. And I think that was last Wednesday night. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that China actually released the RV last Thursday.
Right.
So he knew what he was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Now, as far as it hitting us is kind of the big question, and I guess there's various rumors that perhaps the hurricane is the reason for the delay, but I don't think it'll delay it that long. I mean, look at up to this point,
we've had things like that. We've had things like that before, though, right? Hurricanes and all that stuff. Say, well, it's delayed because of that. Every excuse is always available, right? So you get discouraged when you're using the old excuses.
No, they're not, man. No, they're not. Because in the past, when we heard there was excuses, there wasn't really an excuse. Okay, they would say that because it was convenient. But in this case, that's not the situation. We do know for a fact that, and I mean this for a fact, that redemptions are actually taking place and they're on our level. So, that's on a level that we can reach out and touch. To me, that is the difference, right? Because we've had these reports in the past, but we weren't even ready. They weren't ready. That was just a psych out and the psyops. And every indication I have for the first time, and believe me, I made by accident made this a full-time kind of a job of being wrong, because I'm consistently wrong about things. But the evidence I have now is the first time I feel like, wow. I mean, I've never had the kind of intel or the access or the clarity or even the transparency that I have right now. Sorry, there's some chihuahuas going crazy in the background here.
Putting two tips in.
Yep. Sorry. I'm sorry, Doc. What'd you say?
I said he's putting his two tips in.
There you go. Yeah, they're dangerous. Chihuahuas. They don't even hunt cockroaches, those things.
Okay. So I muted 507 because he had a lot of wind in his background and blowing or something. Hold on. Okay, 507, were you done? That's okay.
I did have a comment, but I forgot. I guess I wanted to ask whether his chihuahua was a chick magnet, and that's how he got his wife.
Nah, man, I don't have a Chihuahua, brother. I don't have it. After this, though, I'm going to buy my 4-year-old daughter a little bulldog puppy. I can't wait.
There you go.
Because when I come home with that puppy, everybody knows everything's done. And I'm move on.
I was going to say, I mean, we do know people who have exchanges completed through lawyers and things, and the money sits in escrow, right? But the banks aren't releasing until the public announcement of the GCR. So that's all good, right? There's all little pieces.
Yeah, and look, honestly, I feel bad for those people, to be quite honest. Because they've got to be tortured more than any of us. I mean, just imagine you can see the money sitting in your account and you can't touch it, and you've been being told for years. I mean, I know people in the core group have been told for years they were going to have their money, and they can't touch it.
Right. Yeah. And
that really is the shotgun start, right? Because in reality, a lot of this money has been taken off the streets, right? It's been pulled in.
Right.
And it's been assigned a value, and and they have it. Now, the difference is, though, is like finally now people are getting their contracts to tell them what the value is, right?
Right. Okay.
So that's a big legal indicator, right? Because before the gold was there to back it, and before the USN was live, what value could they have had for it? They would have been like, I know there's money there, but I have no idea how much. And for the most part, that was pretty consistent with the people I talked to.
Right.
So it's not about exchanging, right? It's about
releasing
for value.
Yeah, releasing. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're seeing now is the actual value come to light, which means there is a value, right? I mean, the gold is there to actually back this. Finally.
Right. Right.
So that's what's encouraging to me, man.
So have you heard anything about the value of our goods? Are we going to go back pre-inflationary dollars? Is a loaf of bread going to cost 15 cents? Have you heard anything about that or discussions about that?
I mean, I've heard things, man, but I couldn't say with any kind of clarity.
Okay.
What that is. I mean, I'm personally not overly concerned, with that type of thing because, we're going into this age where you there's plenty for everyone. I'll tell you, that's one thing with these TDA accounts that for anybody who's on the fence about the value of the ZIM, right? I know last Monday we were given a number to call, and I called and verified a $3 million check. Now, I didn't get a $3 million check, but I'm saying I verified it. And to me, that's all a bank would do, right? It was a banking system. You call up, you gave your routing number, the account number, the amount of the check, and the check number. I mean, that's pretty official stuff. And I was one of the fortunate few who kind of did that just for my own sanity. A lot of times I'll get intel pretty early. And I was able to do that. And then my friend, he validated a check for his two daughters, one for $8 million, one for $9 million, another for $5 million. So, that's pretty encouraging, right? Because what it says to me is that they're putting things in place and they intend to allow us access,
Yes.
But when I think about it like this, if everybody has an account like that with these unlimited funds that have been multiplying every month with various bonds and all types of things since birth, it really gives a whole new meaning to the idea of being unlimited, so it just really brings it home to me.
I was told that was going to happen about 10 years ago, and what I felt was, that would be then making the system right. I mean, the system is good, but they stole it from us and used our capacity and lent money to businesses. If we truly can have our capacity and then lend money to businesses, because they don't have us, right, then that would be a new way the world could work, and we would be paid for the use of our money, right? So I see that as the ultimate way it will work. I see the gold as an intermediary thing because the gold was required because they ripped us off so bad in the old system. It had to be gold back to pay us back.
Right. What is it? Banks can lend out $10 for every dollar they take in.
Yeah.
So you have this mythical system. Yeah. And then, the more I got into this TDA thing, the more I realized, well, first of all, they pay off the loan right away. right?
Right.
I mean, that to me is just high. And then they're charging you for it, and then they're getting paid again. Then if you go into default, they pay it off again, and then they, basically, sell your debt to a debt collector. Now you're being harassed by a debt collector.
That's right.
You want to talk
They
about
get money
wicked. Straight up wicked.
Yeah, it's a rough.
Crazy.
It's rough.
You can't even count the amount, count the ways. Can you count the ways that you have been cheated, ripped off, and then scorned or jailed for that?
Right.
Too much.
Yeah, and that's why we have to be paid back with gold, because they just ripped us off and ripped us off and ripped us off, and the Supreme Court ruled that way. So.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's move on. We got
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate coming in.
All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye for now. 817.
Hey, Dad, Tank.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm thankful. Dr. WC answered a question from me earlier. I had someone you called me and asked me about the birth certificate. How do you? I think he said redeem your birth certificate. He said that was asking me. Can you explain what that means?
You need to go look at those videos, just like I told you before.
That's all right.
It'll
just take a second. Look.
All right.
Basically, it happens like this. When you're born, your birth certificate is a bond, and your mom and dad, they sign that bond, basically kind of giving them access and rights to set up a corporation in your name. That's why your birth certificate is in all capital letters. And then you can research and find out how many places your name is being put to work, and they build money and they make money off you your whole life. And what we have discussed at length on this call and others is how to take back control of the corporation that is you, because you are a corporation, and you can basically fill out the appropriate paperwork, and you can reclaim the rights, the power of attorney over your name. And then you can, other people have been trading on it already, might as well take it back for yourself. And that's kind of how that works. Now, at this point, every time we seem to talk about something, they seem to come up with a way to confuse the system and block us and stop us from getting that. But the reality is there are certainly things in the works, especially now that the TRN and the USN are live, to the best of my knowledge, that the assets that are there, that have been traded in our name, that we should now be able to access in the very near future. I recommend holding back until we're clear on the process. At this point, there was a time when we've been doing this over the past couple months, but I was pushing for people to go and try it and put some pressure on the system. I've openly asked and requested the U.S. Treasury or somebody to be clear with us and give us the information in a manner that is that makes sense, that we can use. Now, that will be made available. I do understand to a certain extent that there'll be a limited availability until it goes, because if everyone suddenly found out they had billions of dollars, there'd be nothing to buy because everything would shut down. You wouldn't have nobody be working at the store anymore because, I mean, there'd be no reason to work. Everyone would have money, but the problem is everything was shut down. So they have to have some kind of method to release this in a manner that is, doesn't shut down the whole world. So I don't know what that is as of yet. When I do, believe me, I'll be about sharing it. But as of right now, I'd hold back on it until you have some clarity. But like Dr. BC said, there's lots of videos out there. If you're in need and you want to give it a shot, I will tell you that a lot of these things have been rejected. And I will tell you this too. You can call these institutions, and I will tell you this for a fact, and I know this for a fact from personal experience, that we were using this lesser bank method, right? So we were using these routing numbers from the lesser banks, and they were getting kicked back. But we got a hold of those banks, and they were very familiar with the rerouting system. They knew all about it. And they were like, as long as you can verify that you're you, there is a way to access it. So if I had that down to a science, man, I'd tell you. But I don't. I don't have it down to an exact science yet. But I'm working on it. I mean, right before I got on this call, I was working on it. So when I know exactly, and I can give clear instruction, I recommend people don't do it. Let fools like me rush in and let me mess it up, because I've already messed it up a bit. And when I have it right, then I'll share the right way to do it.
Go ahead, 817.
I think, and I appreciate that. And Dr. WC, you were very clear a while ago, and so that's what I've been telling people the same thing. They had to watch those videos, but at the same time, at this point, it may be better to hold up on that particular process at this point.
No, let them watch it so they can learn.
So you think it may be a good idea just to do it in case it's necessary?
Absolutely. Everyone needs to be responsible and know what they're talking about. Absolutely. They still can learn.
Anonymous has a video out right now, sir. Anonymous has a video they let out tonight, and I think tonight, but I got it tonight, and I think they explain it very thoroughly. But if you're gonna watch something, I'd explain that because Anonymous has got a certain kind of swagger, and I like the way they present things, and I think they do a very thorough job. And by the time they put it out, it's because they know they got people all over connected everywhere. And they put it out in a way that's very, very clear, very easy to understand. I was watching one of their last videos. I don't know the exact date, but they'll show you exactly what to look for.
So it's not ours yet.
It's ours. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. I don't care what any bank says. I don't care. It's ours. And it's not fraud for you to access it either, because that's the next thing they're going to try to say. What's fraudulent is that they've been accessing it without your permission. That's fraudulent. And you can access this. It is possible. There's a factualized trust document. I'm sure it's on Dr. WC's website. I'd fill that out first. I'd get your power of attorney. I'd try to get your medallion certification, and I always forget the third one, but it's basically a statement saying
certificate of authority.
Yes, a certificate of authority. I think those three documents pretty much seal you up, man, and you'll be, you can have it. And I'll tell you, if nothing else, they're good just to have.
I understand. Well, that was it. That kind of helped me. I'm trying to explain it. So you explained it 20 times better than me. And the bottom line, look at the video for yourself. So thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good day. Night.
Okay.
Morning.
Okay. Okay, then there is 303.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Good evening, I guess. I had to look at the clock for a minute. Hi, Tank and Dr. WC and Eduardo. This is Peggy from Colorado.
Okay.
Hey, Peggy.
Good to talk to you, Tank. And thank you for your quick answers when I asked of you. So it's helping a lot of us to stay very calm. A couple of questions. I still am wondering about, I know that we keep reading the things about the current administration and that. I would like to see or hear maybe, I don't know if you can give a little clarity to that. Do we truly have to wait till whatever has been put out there before we actually have the, the blessings given to us? Does something have to occur where they are completely out and the new is in? Is that a reality, or maybe not so much?
Not so much. Okay. Not so much. I mean, it's kind of like Bobby Fischer in chess. Bobby Fischer was the greatest chess player of all time.
Right.
And he'd know when he had a guy, and he'd put his hand out, shake his hand, he'd say, do you want to concede? And the guy could concede and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
But they wouldn't do it because they thought they saw a chance. But Bobby Fischer knew he had the game won. I would say at this point, the good guys, they know they have the game won. And the cabal, they don't want to concede, right? So, but at this point, it's safe to release. Well, like I said, even those who think they're getting away with something end up getting arrested. And the SIP system is rock solid. So that's, the new money transfer system. So it's so quick. It's so quick that, there's really no way for them to get over and do something nefarious. So, no, I don't think that's an issue, in my opinion.
That's great. And I'm so sorry. I was in the middle of doing dishes, and I missed the very first part when you came on. Did you say something about we're going to receive maybe not 800 numbers, or it would be done in a different manner? I may have missed that. Or
yeah, I just there's several theories on this, right? And to be honest, with the 800 numbers, 800 number, from what I hear, I've heard Blue Wolf say many times, it's one number, and I do believe that there will be a number. I do believe we're probably last to get it, but I think there's other ways the notification will go out. There'll be, there's definitely websites that exist where you could go in and register your information, and they would do and set up your appointment that way, right? Like a calendar. I know that there is such technology that exists and websites that exist. What I don't know is if that's what they're using. Have there been 800 numbers issued? Absolutely. And is there call centers? Absolutely. Is that the only thing they're going to use? I don't know. Are they going to use it at all? I don't know. They've been so covert about this. I can't say with any clarity the exact way they're going to do it. What I'm very confident in is everyone will get notice. No one has to worry about it. Everyone will be included. Everyone will be notified. But that could come in the form of an email or a text message, or a phone call. It could be any one of those things.
Sure, variety is safer, I'm sure.
I guess. I mean, I really can't speak to the security of it. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I hope at 12:30 tonight, Eastern Daylight Time, I just get a text message with a link that takes me to a phone number and gives me instructions and tells me I can share it. And if that's the case, you wouldn't even have to put it out to 100 different people. You can put it out to just Dr. WC, and everybody will know. I mean, you probably know after she exchanges, but everybody will know in no time. And it'll go viral.
Awesome. Thanks, Tank. You're just awesome. Really, truly. Hugs to you and your family, and thank you again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hello?
Hello. Nothing, man.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Excellent. I was wondering if you had any additional information about the exchange procedure itself, if it's changed at all, or if there's some additional information that has come out prior to the meeting's beginning.
Man, you know what? We hear different things all the time. What's solid? If I had solid reporting on it, I'd tell you, but I don't. What I can tell you is that you're going to take your currency in. You're going to be safe when you do it. They're going to give you a value. You're welcome to counteroffer on that value and give a different price, and they'll probably give it to you. And it's not going to be complicated. It's going to be very quick. From what I understand, I've heard repeatedly, is it's going to be so easy. You're going to be like, I can't believe I was just stressed out about this part of it. A better investment of your time will just be, probably what you want to do afterwards.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Did you see the update on my website 919 about the preparations, post preparation?
I didn't.
Huh? Did he say yes or no?
Oh, did you say that there was an update on your website?
I said, did you see the updated list on my website about post preparation?
No, I didn't, but I'll go take a look at that now.
Okay, look on, let me see what page it's on. So someone's come back and asked me, I'll repeat it. I tweeted it a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Hold on, let me tell you what page it's on. Let's see. I don't even see it myself. Hold on. It should be on update. Okay, if you hover over update, you're gonna see wealth preparation.
Okay.
You click on that.
Okay.
And you're gonna see you see that first PDF. All of this will help you, but there's a PDF that says RV preparation.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you so much, WC. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. Thank you for coming in.
Pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye for now. 77770.
Good evening, everyone. I have a question for Tank.
Go ahead.
Tank, you Create Change will be providing services for us, the exchangers, post-exchange, like family office services and things like that, or how to create them, or things like that.
Yeah.
What more
have,
can you tell me about that?
Yeah, well, there'll be a lot of things. One, we'll have a portal. The website is connected now, so you can kind of just peruse, if it's in line with your values. But at www.KRE8change.org. And what we'll have is, as soon as this goes, we'll have this probably 2 weeks in. We already have the people in place, and we'll have a portal set up so that you can, get access, and we'll be adding to it, resources-wise, to set up family offices and kind of have people who've done that before set those things up. Now, a family office, for the most part, is, what I would consider to be your number one priority, because that's going to allow you, access and advice to the right people who can tell you, who can make things happen for you, and what we'll do is we'll have a constantly updating stream of information where you'll be able to see, we'll make it possible for people to connect in your area so that you can connect with other people who are, possibly looking to do projects in your area. But more importantly, it's kind of just for you to get stable, right? So you know where your money is, how to access your money. People are constantly worried because they don't have an HSBC in their area. We'll explain how that works, and we'll set that up for you, and we'll help you set it up at least and give you some direction, and allow people to, not reproduce the same efforts in the same place, And that's a resource that will grow as you grow. We're just trying to give some direction to people so they know they're not alone. So we wanted Create Change was always set out to do something that was for post RV. I never intended to have an Intel chat room. I had a vision of being able to connect people with resources and direction. And we'll also have on there immediately about the Create Change conventions that we will hold at cities all over the country and probably all over the world as we grow. And the idea will be that at these conventions you'll be able to hear from people, aspiring, new technology and various just, people that have been vetted with great ideas, underfunded businesses, places where you might want to invest, right? And also, we'll have a venue set up. I did this with my previous company. We would go into a company and we'd set up a corporate wellness program. Then we'd set up a social media website just for that company so that their employees could talk about what they're doing and how they're having success in different classes they took. And we'll have similar resources with Create Change where you'll be able to, share your ideas and share your photographs and share, what's been successful for you, and then hopefully inspire others to do something similar, and give each other support. It's really going to be just a joy-filled kind of a place. This is not, contrary to, a lot of the fear-mongering that I hear. This is not this crushing event and you have to, you're terrified and you got to protect your money. You're going to have so much money. Your biggest concern, to be honest, is going to be is spending it, is actually putting it out there to help other people. And we will, give you some direction as we get it, from professionals, not from me. Like, what do I know, right? But from professionals who are in this. And also, we'll be able to help you with things like realizing when you go into certain areas, certain cities, certain counties, certain parts of the world, like, before you go in, you're going to have to get this, license before you go there, just to save you that trouble, right? And then we'll have a group of people all over the world who'll be sharing their information, their experience, so that we can do it the most efficient way. Does that help?
Hold on. Oh, go ahead, 770.
Okay. So where there may be, I'm looking for, I'm sure someone will have it. I'm looking for strategies, like brainstorming sessions. You will have those types of things maybe at your convention where you have breakout sessions and things like that.
Well, yeah, and one of the things I'll do, because I think it's important, especially for this kind of, this particular community, right? I mean, we're all kind of chat room experts, right? We all we know what it's like to go to a chat room, and but we use kind of an educational tool called Accountable Talk. So, what I've done with my company in the past is we set up like a social media, like you'll have your own little Facebook of other people who are looking to do what you're doing. So if you're looking, to provide an adoption network, right? And you want to talk to other people who are doing that too, right? That's what you do, is find other philanthropists in other cities and other places, and you guys can all talk about how you want to do it. And, we'll kind of help organize that and, help you manage the conversation best we can so that you know what you need. And then as you know what you need, then you can ask and say, well, we know we need this. We don't know how to get it. And then we can put our resources to work for you and, help you figure that out.
Okay. One last question. I think I heard that you were going to use a different type of human resource structure called holacracy.
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
I've looked into it, and I was just wondering, have you already implemented something like that, or is that just kind of like where you're going?
Yeah, I mean, Susan Babcock, who is just a wealth of knowledge and worldly experience, both in business, spiritually, and every way, holacracy it's something that we talk about all the time. And it is a very organized and efficient business structure where you have kind of lateral movement more so, and you're able to, everyone has a voice, and you're able to organize things, and there's really only one kind of head to head things off. But for the most part, everyone plays different roles, and they can jump and play different roles inside the company. How many people have had a job that they hated, and maybe they loved it when they started, and then they get bored of it, right? And they want to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm certain that we're going to bring in, holacracy experts. I'm sure we'll have a whole page dedicated to that. I'm sure we'll have whole chat rooms, a whole, kind of social media site hubs where people will be able to discuss that and ask questions. Like, that's something that's, I believe in it. I believe in Susan, and there's something she suggested a while ago. And the more I learn about it, I'll be with you. I'll be learning about it as we go.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your input. I'm looking forward to working with you all.
Yes, ma'am. Look forward to it.
Dinar.
Hey, Tank. How you doing?
I'm all right, Bernard. How are you?
Waterlogged. I'm down in Houston, so yeah, I'm in Houston. I sent
the water's going back yet, or what?
It went back, and now it's coming back up. It's raining like crazy, cats and dogs again right now.
Oh man. we call it to stop. We command it to stop.
Yeah.
Too much.
Thank y'all for that. Now, Tank, got a question for you.
All right, lay it on.
I heard about all these currency exchange, and I'm getting a little confused because I've been the research and everything. Now, the currency exchange I hear is the IQN, the VN, the Dinar, the Zen, but it doesn't state about the TDAs, the TSNs. So how would that be exchanged?
I'm not sure what the. You mean the TDAs, the Treasury Direct accounts?
Yeah.
Or the TRNs?
Yeah, TRNs. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure I understood what you were asking. Well, the TRNs are digital currency, right? So that's the U.S. dollar.
Right.
So it's 1-to-1. There's not really an exchange for that. But I think I'm missing something in your question.
Okay, so the TRNs are not going to be exchanged?
Well, yeah. You're going to be exchanging for TRNs, for USN, for the digital currency.
Okay.
So when you get your dollar amount, it'll be in USN or TRN. Is that what you mean? Or am I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically what it'll be. Like, you'll be exchanging for that new asset-backed currency. And that's why we've been held up in a lot of ways, because until that was live, there's no sense in exchanging into a fiat system, right? Because the fiat system is just backed by debt. So you're going to go exchange for more debt. So the dollar wasn't worth anything, really.
Okay.
So now when you go in and you exchange, you'll be exchanging for an asset-backed currency.
Okay. All right. I'm more understanding now. All right.
Okay, good.
That's all I needed.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dinar. Okay, 770.
Hi, yes. This is Ken. I'm out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know. I'm hearing that they're saying that when they do reevaluate a lot of the they're not going to do all of the currencies at one time. So that means you would need to hold on to the other ones that you have until that time comes available. is there any way of knowing how that process will run? And
no, don't worry about that. When you're allowed to go in and exchange, you'll be able to exchange everything.
Oh, you will?
Yeah, you won't have a problem.
Okay,
See, once the Zim goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Zim is back in everything else, right? So once the Zim goes, you'll be able to exchange everything. All the same place, all at one time. You'll do it one time. You'll sign an NDA probably. You know, I believe you'll sign an NDA no matter what. And you'll be out, and you'll never talk about it again.
I see. Okay. So one more question regarding the process with the birth certificates and that sort of thing. If a person is receiving governmental subsidies prior to whether or not if this is currency thing, take place or don't take place or whatever, are they legally able to go and get money against their birth certificates, or do they have to just sit out on it? They can't, because of the. It was explained. Someone tried to tell me a while back that if you signed up with the government to receive any of their subsidies, whether food stamps, whether SSID, Social Security, that you cannot sign up to go out try to get money on your birth certificate, but that's where the money is coming from.
Well,
so that means that those accounts will be closed out, so you're gonna be closed out as well. I don't know.
All right, so that's like under UCC law, right? That you're basically accepting a contract, right? So by accepting food stamps, accepting welfare, you're accepting a contract from the government, and that's why it's that way. So you have to change your status, right? Which is what Heather Tucci has been doing with this whole UCC thing, kind of giving us our sovereignty back, right? Giving back our freedom. So, from my understanding, that's been done for us, that we've, been able to reclaim that. But now there's other ways to do it. Fisher mentioned to me that you can change the status of your passport so that you are I believe it's a sovereign national is the appropriate term. Dr. WC, is that right?
Some kind of national. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember.
Yeah, but, to be quite honest, man, listen. If I were a betting man, I would say that you're not going to really have access to that until the RV goes, because they've timed it up, and they're only letting it go when everything goes at once. And I would say, to be quite honest, I think you're so close to that happening. It's not worth the stress and the headache of trying to get too involved with all that right now. We put it to the test, and I'm a believer in the TDAs. I'm a believer in the value of the TDAs. I'm a believer in getting educated about them to understand, what needs to happen. I'm a believer that you should go and you should research and figure out what does it take and what does it mean to be free, right? And find out how you've been controlled. I think all that is infinitely valuable. I think to the world, even more so, because the TDAs is something that affects every single life on the planet, right? So I think that's bigger. I think that is bigger than the RV by itself, because the RV by itself, a lot of us are, it's just a few of us, really. I mean, by comparison to the world population, right? So, I also think that they're synced up, right? That when the RV goes, probably we'll start to actually see some things reverse. We'll start to see things come into place with the TDAs, and you'll be free, and you'll know you're free, right?
I see.
And I would imagine when you go in to do your exchange, A lot of that stuff's going to be cleared up for us right on the spot.
I see. Okay, you're right. Okay, then that would make sense then. Because if you're free, then therefore you ain't got to be worrying about all that foolishness.
That's right, man.
That's just extra tied into the systems.
That's right. And it's, you know, and I'll tell you this too. I believe in my heart. I mean, I know this to be true. It's going to be easy too. You know, we've been working our tail off because, you know what, for the most part, look, I mean, I've been doing this 24/7, right? Really trying to get access to this because, you know, I don't want to be a slave anymore. I don't want to be. I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with the way they've handled it. I'm not okay that I got to jump through hoops to get money that's mine in my name.
Right.
I hate that.
Right.
Now, I believe they know that, and I believe that there's a plan in place, and that they'll allow us access to that, and it will be unfettered access, and it'll be clear and transparent.
Yeah. Okay. I believe I had to believe that too, because I'm like, it wouldn't make any sense for you to say, okay, y'all got this money, but then, you know, you're still tied down in the systems. So if you're still tied into the system, then you still got, you know, big gov, you know, standing over your head. So therefore, you're still not free. You're still in bondage. The money you still got, you either trying to run and go to another country, or try to be this one, or trying to, you understand? It's just, it'll be kind of ridiculous.
No, I totally understand. I'm in complete agreement with you. Complete. I think when it's real is what it'll be obvious to all of us.
I see.
So, and I'll tell you, look, don't get me wrong. Just in case that wasn't the case, I have taxed this thing, man. I'm telling you, on levels. I have gone in. I got people calling me still. I have put myself out there in every possible way. I would never ask anybody to do something I wasn't trying myself. And I am a believer, just from a legal standpoint, like, this is mine. I have my medallion. I have proof that it's mine. So now, granted, it doesn't help that I come on calls and talk about it necessarily, because it seems like every time we do, they blow me up the next day. But but that's okay. That's okay. You know, I guess I'd rather it be that way. And I think we did some good and made, you know, at least we got some awareness going, and made people aware that, you know, that there's value, right? And that's kind of how they describe it, is that everyone has this value attached to their name. Now, I'm not one to, you know, I'm not one to say that money is your only value. But in this world where we live right now, certainly the one thing about money that is valuable is that it is attached to freedom. And as far as I'm concerned, money has been the shackle, or the lack of money has been the shackles and chains that have kept us in bondage.
Right. Okay. But it definitely makes sense what you're saying. I don't think that I would want to be entitled to some money that I know is mine, and then you still telling me what I can do and how I can do with it. Because you've been telling me this all before. And now, I mean, and I still ain't got nowhere. So now I got accessories, and I got the freedom to do what I want to do. You don't have to tell me what I need to do. And I don't need to tie into the system and, you know, let them be known that.
Tell you, that's exactly how I feel. Now, I'll tell you, because there are things out there, and I know this exists, right? Because, you know, we keep hearing, look, you're going to get 20% of your money liquid, then they're going to take 80% of it, and, you know, it's still yours, and they're going to pay you out on interest in it. But, you know, then if you want to do a humanitarian project and you want to use that 80%, you got to apply for it. And I'm like, that's my money. How am I going to apply for my money? So I'm like, listen, you can keep that money. You know, pay me the interest. That's fine. I'll do all my humanitarian projects with my 20%, so I don't have to go jump through hoops again with you and ask your permission to how I'm going to spend my money.
Right.
Nonsense. No, I'm with you.
Okay. That's what I was trying to find out. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Hello, Tank.
Hello. Who's this?
Gary. Hey, I've got a question that pertaining to TDAs that a lot of people haven't. I don't think anybody's ever addressed. I don't know whether people realize that some of these birth certificates that we got are no longer considered valid. Did you know that?
Well, there's birth certificates, and then there's like a proof of life certificate. Which one are you saying is invalid?
Well, I'll put it this way. I got a 1956 certified copy of my birth certificate live and all that. And I know somebody else that had a 1953 certified copy of their live birth of Ohio. And both of us were told the exact same thing. If it's anything before 2006, they're no longer considered valid.
I've never heard that.
Well, that's the exact words that the Missouri people told me. See, my wife didn't have live births, so that's why I was really quizzing them. And she had an earlier than mine. But that's what Missouri told me, and I told this to a person that follows, and she contacted Ohio, and they, after 2 phone calls, told her the exact same thing, that hers was no longer valid, that you had to, they'll tweak you up to a newer birth certificate.
Yeah, I mean, they might have you order a new birth certificate or something.
Yeah,
that could be possible, but it's not that your birth is suddenly invalid.
No, I wasn't saying that. I just what they're saying, the paperwork, which I think that's part of what
they might ask you to update. Yeah, that's possible. You know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just didn't know whether people. I had never heard anybody even talk about that, and I was just kind of curious what
did they tell you to do?
They just told me if I wanted to, we could update and get a new birth certificate, which I'm getting tomorrow. And so the lady out of Ohio. And basically, I think it's $20-$30 to get a new birth certificate in the long form certified. So
yeah, they've all been, they considered them all invalid as soon as you were born. They created you a death certificate and declared you lost at sea. So they've all been, but then they took them and put them on the market and traded them your whole life. So yeah, they're probably telling the truth.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, because they killed you off, right?
They're just not telling you the backstory.
Yeah.
Well,
they probably don't know it. They probably don't know it.
They don't know it.
Mine got certified 4 years after I was born. My parents apparently got a copy 4 years afterwards that certified live birth and all that stuff. So I felt pretty cocky about mine till I could talk to the gal on the phone. She says, "Well, it's no longer considered valid." And I thought, well, I might as well spend another $30 and get.
That's another way to make more money. Another way to make more money when normally they are like $10, and if you want a laminated copy, they'll give you another $5. Now they're charging $30, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, I just want to tell people that just in case. I figure it's better to. Because that's kind of what Fisher was leading towards, is using that to change your passport status.
Certificate of live birth.
Yeah, you need a certificate of live birth. That's correct. And to show you're still alive, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway, all right. Well, I just wanted to mention that because I'd run into that, and I thought people might want to know about it.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
All of them are telling that tale. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you. You all have a good evening.
You too.
All right. Good evening, sir.
502.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Hey. Hey, Dr. C. Hey, how you doing, everyone?
Hi.
Yeah, this is hi. This is King here from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm 28. You know, I've been on this path for probably about 2.5 years now, and I've seen a lot. You know, I've hit my head a lot. You know, brushed with the laws and stuff because of what I stood for. And I'm just a firm believer that, you know, it's time. It's ours. And I'm going to stand for that. I'm going to stand for that. I don't like what they did to me, what they did to my parents, what they did to our grandparents. And I'm just standing waiting. I'm a Zim holder. I knew nothing about this till about 6 months ago. And I'm just standing in the gap. You know, I don't really have a question too much. I just appreciate what y'all are doing. It's not too many people that I can really go to and really, you know, talk about these things or, you know, say a lot. But since I've, you know, found you all, it's just been liberating. And you know, y'all speak the truth. Thank y'all.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah. I'll stand with you, dude. I'll stand with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Anonymous.
Oh my goodness! Thank you for waking me up. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, now what was I on here for anyway? Let me see. You know who this is?
Yes, Pastor.
Oh, okay. Hey, Tank, how you doing?
I'm just fine.
Yeah, I know you are. Everybody always asks you how you are, but if we listen to what you say, we don't have to ask you but one time.
Okay.
You mentioned a while ago, and I probably don't even need to bring this up, but after all these certificates of authority and all this kind of stuff, once you gather that up, what do you do with them?
Well, there's a couple things. One, you know, as we're breaking through this process a little bit, we're realizing that, you know, this is not a mystery to the bank. You can find the right people, and you can present your information to show ownership. I was able to use my information to get my medallion certificate to show that the accounts belong to me. I think that's pretty significant. Mm-hmm. And what you should be able to do ultimately is access your account. And you have proof that it's yours and that you are who you say you are, and you can go access that money and you can spend it because it's yours.
Yeah. You said medallion. I took a piece of paper into 2 banks, and I asked them to, you know, authorize this, sign it, because you can't use what you call notary public. And both of them said, okay, well, how much money am I doing this for? One of them said I can sign it up to $1 million, and the other one, credit union, said I could sign it up to $100,000. Prove to me that you got the money. I thought, what? And I said, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just get my toys and go home. I have no idea what they were talking about. So I think you mentioned a while ago about, well, let's just wait on the TDA stuff until after the RV and we'll go. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you know, you have it's an undepletable account, you know, and the money's there and in your name. Now, you know, I'm not, at this point, I'm just not advocating because we're so close to the RV, and everybody on this call has got those access to that. And I think these things will happen simultaneously. That you'll have the RV, and maybe a couple weeks later you're going to have full access to TDAs. At that point, all of us who got stirred up about the RV, who, you know, we're the dreamers, the doers, we're the ones who believe in the impossible anyways, right? We're the ones who everybody in our family thinks we're crazy already, and they know, look, if these fools get all riled up about PDAs, nobody's going to believe it anyways because they've already been proven beyond a shadow of doubt they're not credible. Well, all of a sudden you go and you exchange your currency and you drive around and, you know, your Bentley Mulsanne with your, you know, pimped out gold rims, all of a sudden they might take you a little more seriously and be like, wait, what did you do? Right?
Yeah.
So at that point, when that time's appropriate, I'm sure that they're going to give us clear instructions on what to do. I'm sure when we go into the exchange, they're going to give us very clear instructions on how to conduct ourselves and manage our money and all types of things, which to the most part I plan to ignore and go do whatever I want because that's why I did this.
Okay, one last thing. When the Humvee comes to your house,
yes,
how
sir.
about give me a call, come get me, let's ride together.
Where you at? Where you at, man?
I'm in the wonderful, beautiful city of North Augusta, South Carolina.
South Kakalaki, yep. My family's down in Myrtle Beach, actually, but I'm all the way up in New York, man. It'd be a long trip, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not waiting to come down and get you, but I'll see if I can send somebody your way.
Yeah, well, I'm about 3.5 hours from Myrtle Beach. And,
okay.
Yeah. So, well, appreciate you guys, and keep it going, WC.
All right.
Hey,
thank
you.
All right, good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, we have blank caller.
Greetings, family. Hey, Doc WC. Hey,
Doing
Tank.
good. How are you?
Hey, good evening.
We are good. Hey, Tank, I want to run something by you and just kind of bounces off your head.
Sure.
But in regard to going in to do exchange, and
okay.
My interest is, of course, I have humanitarian projects. It is a global as well as regional, local, that sort of thing. And I go in, and after we, do the meet and greet thing, I ask them what's on the front screen. And they'll show me what's on the front screen, and probably my pinky toes will start to curl. But I'm like, that's not enough. And I may ask them what's on the back screen. So they show me that, and all my toes curl. But because I don't know what the cost of anything is going to be. I just have no clue. I mean, you had that very same sentiment a few months ago. We talked about we just don't know what the cost of anything is. We have no idea the extent of our projects and what if there's going to be a cost factor, but we don't want to cheat ourselves and put ourselves in a situation where we got to go and raise funds all over again. So,
well, listen, man. Go ahead. Ask a question. I'm sorry.
So what they were of course, the whole thing of the NDA will come up. If not everybody has to sign them, but if we don't have to sign them unless we're taking the negotiated rate, then I would opt. I'm thinking I would rather take the back screen and ask. I would like to take NDA home and have my legal counsel go through this with me, because if you sit here and have me go through this, we're going to be here for a while because I want to make sure I'm clear on everything, and I do want to take my time, and I don't want to rush through it. So take the back screen, and the next time when we come back, which will be 1, 2, 3 weeks, what have you, to speak with a wealth manager to be able to do the, renegotiate it, leave them information on what it is that I'm looking to do with the funds. So I just wanted to kind of bounce that off to see what you thought, because no one's ever said doing that. And I'm like, I want to go home and take that with me, but I don't want to leave empty-handed. So I will settle for the back screen, so at least we're partially settled. And if they truly of their word and really want us to really take a lot more, then they won't have a problem with that anyway, because I'm coming back and, we just want to make sure everything is cool on the NDA, that we can bring it back after careful review and say, okay, I want to take this out, as opposed to, okay, I'm just signing the thing because I don't know really what's in here. I don't really understand it, and I know y'all want to hurry and get me in and out. What's your thought?
Well, I mean, give it a shot, man. I mean, I think it's I think it's a wise move on certain levels, right? You want to have somebody look at it. Mm-hmm. I would personally, I won't do that. I won't do it because once I go in, I want this over. I don't want to have to negotiate and worry about that. But I see what you're saying, right? You're getting one rate. I'm leaving with this rate, but I'm coming back after I have my lawyer sign this. If it's okay to sign, I'll come back in and get this higher rate. Now, if they agree to do that, and that's what you want to do, I mean, I think it's a fine idea. Personally, I'm going to sit there with 2 copies of the NDA. I'm going to go through every section.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make sure I'm clear. This is what this is saying, and I'm going to ask. And then I'm going to go to the next section. I'm saying, this is what this is saying, and I'm going to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to ask for clarity. And I'm going to make sure that I know exactly what it is, especially on the back part of those things, right? Because that's where you kind of get like, your fine print kind of stuff. And I'm going to make sure I know exactly what it is I can and cannot talk about. Right. And for me, to be quite honest, one thing about this process that I've seen is it's an unlimited supply of money when it comes right down to it, right? Yeah. And even though I don't know what things are going to cost, I'll tell you what, I'll have enough to buy it, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to be stupid about it either. But I don't want to have to go back in and negotiate like this ever again. I don't ever want to have to deal with these things again. So I'm going to make sure that I understand every single part of that NDA. So I know exactly what it means and what restrictions are. There's no some backdoor deal that is going on. And I'm not even like skeptical like that. People are very scared of the banking system because they've run us through the ringer before. And you have every right to hold them accountable for exactly what that document says and make sure you understand it clearly. And I'm certain they will take the time to answer any questions you want because you very rapidly become one of their best clients, right?
Yeah,
so,
I would definitely think so. Especially if we're going to partner on this, so I definitely want to be clear. And I definitely want to go through it.
For me, the idea of jumping through hoops so I got to get a higher rate and things like that is just kind of silly, and I've said this before, and I say this in jest partially. But I've thought about doing it this way. I've thought about going in and telling them, I know the asset I hold, and I know its value already. Mm-hmm. I already know the value. So what I'm willing to do is I'm willing to give you a percentage of that value if you're willing to show me your humanitarian projects. Mm. And if I feel like their humanitarian projects are up to snuff, but I can guarantee they're not going to be ready for that because they're there to do a currency exchange, right? They're managing money. Right. And being worried about humanitarian anything hasn't really seemed to cross their mind as of yet. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that to anybody. I'm just saying I've thought about it. Because at the end of the day, you're holding the asset, right? The asset's in your possession. You are the bank.
Right.
And in your bag, you probably have more than any one of them has ever seen in their life.
Exactly.
Unless, if you go in first, probably they've ever seen, right?
Right.
So I think that you can just go ahead and ask what you want.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the feedback on that.
Man, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, Kate?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. That was the last of the queue. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging in here with us this time. We appreciate it.
Only because of you.
Well,
all right.
Do you have anything you want to close with before we exit?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do have one thing I want to tell people.
Okay.
I want you to really consider this moment you're about to walk into in a just a positive, exciting, enlightened way. I want you to do your best to separate yourself from all the fear-mongering, all the you need to watch out for this, and you got to be careful with this, and you need to cluster this away. I want you to try to just imagine your life without that. Imagine that this money really is exactly what it's billed to be. And I want you to really have some confidence in that you're the best person to have it. And not to leave any, I'm not telling people to go for broke. I know there's all these horror stories how, about the lottery and what are you going to do with this? You're going to kill yourself? No, you're not. No, you're not. Because you're up at 11:30 or 12 o'clock on a Monday night and you are trying to find the best way to get a hold of this money and do something great with it. And there is nobody who is more qualified to do something great with it than you. You know, right now we have this little organization called Create Change. But I affectionately refer to the people in my chat room as creators. Now, in the scriptures it says, you are made in the likeness and the image of your creator. Now, I want you to just press the boundaries of what it is that you can create with all this money. And stop worrying about the money, per se, and keeping it and holding it and doing all that stuff with it, worrying about it, and just think of what you want to create. Let your focus be creative endeavors. Be and do everything you ever wanted to do. I talk about this all the time that, you know, I'm an artist. I like to work with my hands. And no matter where the technology goes, I'm not going to stop wanting to work with my hands. And I got this little plot of land out on Long Island I'm going to buy, and I'm going to build a tree fort city for my sons. And I'm going to do it just so I can work with my sons. And nobody's going to tell me you're not going to have time for that. And it's not, your life's not going to. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm going to have enough money to do whatever I want and take as much time as I want and make the stuff as cool as I want. I'll put I'll make a healthy McDonald's in there if I want. I'll do whatever I want and do something creative and imaginative that inspires other people to do things that are creative and imaginative. Being creative and being a creator allows you to inspire other people to do more amazing things, and you have no idea what your limitations are in this new age because you don't have them anymore. Your time is unlimited. Your money will be unlimited. Your potential and ability has always been unlimited, and all of that is being unlocked for you. So I just want to encourage people, go be amazing. Own that. Just own it. Just go and find out who you really are. Find out, because that's what this is really all about. It is not about just managing, just doing this. And you know what? Everybody needs help, not just the super poor. You got a bunch of middle-class people that are working their tail off every darn day for their whole life just to survive. Go and help them out too. If that's how you're inspired to be, by the way. You know, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. Go do whatever you want to do. But I want you to please, please pursue greatness. Pursue it with reckless abandon, fearlessly. Find out what you can create, what you can make happen. There's got to be new ways to do everything, and you can go find them. And that to me is so much, that is kind of the crux of all this, is finding your oneness with God. And in that, He's the creator. All the things that we stand in awe of and we love and are inspired by, all of that is God. Now, why wouldn't you be a creator? If He's a creator, you're a creator. Go be creative. I just want to encourage people to just really don't let go of that dream of making something that no one's ever seen before, of being original. Because that is how we expand the consciousness and the reality that we live in. That's how we make the world a place that we're so excited about. That when we wake up on Monday is no different than Sunday for us, because we do the same. We do whatever we want every day, and we know exactly what we want. Happen to that. Happen to that. Please go be amazing. And you know what? And then come tell me about it, please. And if it's really amazing, don't worry about it. It's a better idea than mine. Please come tell me. I want to do it better too. I want to be around people that are inspiring and amazing. I want to be around people that are better looking than me, in better shape than me, more creative than me. I want to be around those people because those people make me better too. And I just want to encourage you to do the same. So that's all I got, Doctor.
Well, I think that was pretty good. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. Well.
Yes, ma'am.